should be better, right?
Huh?
Am I better? Am I better?
No.
No. Interesting. I should be better.
I'm being cautious with my voice because I don't want, because it's on like a high setting. I don't want to like hit yourself and you to be like,
Belt.
yeah, like scream.
Yeah, I know. I was just,
Okay, I can't really hear you. So don't fix anything. I'm putting my volume down. Hello.
hello.
Okay.
I'll fix it eventually, but I don't know what's wrong right now.
Okay.
Okay though. Interesting. Okay. I'm streaming Minecraft. I have 0 viewers. Actually, I have technically 1 viewer, but I think that's just me.
Oh, I can turn up your volume. Okay. Talk again.
Hello.
Okay. It's still not better. Maybe if I put the volume.
Let me try something else then. Wait, okay. If I were you, I would put me down for a second.
Okay. I will put it down.
Is that louder?
Wait, let me see. Talk
Is
again.
that any louder?
No.
Okay.
Did something happen
Um,
while you were trying to stream?
I nothing should have happened. I don't know why it's quiet. That's really strange. I don't really know how to make it any louder. Is that louder?
No, you sound exactly the same.
What the fuck? I really have no idea what I did, bro.
I don't know what you did either.
Hello?
Right.
That's still quiet. That's still quiet. Why did my mic go quiet? It was literally like I was in the middle of talking.
Oh, is it doing that thing again where it tries to get rid of background noise? Like, remember when you were trying to call me that one time?
No, because I changed that. It actually, in Discord, I changed that. It's not a problem with just Discord. It's like, because my voice is low in OBS, um, as well as um, in this program I have called Voicemeeter. Is Voicemeeter the problem? Can voice how do I know if Voicemeeter hears me? I don't think Voicemeeter is supposed to mess with my mic. Yeah. You know what? Google.
Google will probably say.
Might be caused by mouse. been a fun chat so far.
Okay, I'm writing things down. So, you know how like sometimes you try to write things in English while you're still, and then bad things happen.
Yeah, I don't know why it's so quiet. Hold on, I'm gonna mute myself in Discord for a second. Hello. Wow, that is really quiet. Hello. Hello. I should. Hello. Hello.
Oh my gosh, wow, wow. Hello?
I think I fixed it.
I think you fixed it.
Really don't know what I did, but I think it's good now.
Okay, cool. I'll understand now.
Okay.
I turned it down. Not
Uh, um, yeah, I
Anyway.
don't know what was going on just there, but
Wait 1 second.
what are you typing?
I'm not typing. I'm
Or
writing it down.
what are you writing?
I'm writing things that I should remember about what I'm reading.
You're reading something.
I wrote them in my notebook. Oh, that's the thing. For my graduation, my cousin got me an iPad and an Apple Pencil, so I'm like getting used to it. I made this book animation already,
Oh, that's cool.
but I'm basically like transferring my notes that I wrote while I was reading onto here so that I actually remember.
I
Like,
didn't
I'm
get.
trying to get used to like note taking on it
Mm,
because I'll probably do that.
I didn't get any huge graduation gifts. I got a chain for my mom.
Yeah, I was not expecting. Yeah, it was like big stuff.
I
He's the one who
need.
looks at Wiki, so like
Oh, that's cool.
that he looks at it like that. So I made him an edition because I was like, I can't. I don't know.
I mean, it's a gift.
Yeah, but you know how it starts with it's like too large.
Yeah. The chain my mom got me cost more than my car did at full price, but she got it on sale.
Honestly, that's how I feel. I'm writing notes about
Interesting. Anything new? Yeah.
Well, I was like reading this article about how like COVID has obviously like increased like surveillance capitalism in a way because now we're on like Zoom all the time and all of these like for-profit organizations that collect our personal information.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
And it's not a great thing.
I do not trust Zoom at all.
Yeah.
It, I I think it's such a shady, um, not really website, but like program.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just like I'm reading a lot about how specifically like computer science plays a pretty big role in
Uh,
like this idea of
I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Where it's like, it's not like they talk about institutionalized depression in like a math class, you know?
Yeah,
And so it's
it's
hard to see where the link is actually to this plot. But there are a lot of really good articles and like, you know, when there are things that are like they share with us in history class that are a little bit longer than an article, but like not an article.
listen. I didn't take a
They're
history
still
class last year, and I barely remember
oh
11th
well,
grade
that's
history.
typically the type of stuff you know how people do or have been sharing like PDFs of text by black authors.
I think so. Yeah.
Accessing material. I feel like
I haven't
everyone
I haven't been reading a lot, and I feel like I should be reading a lot more, considering I'm stuck at home for the foreseeable future.
yeah, I think I'm just like sure I've done things at school, but like I feel like had I educated myself more and seen how I contribute to these systems and how I benefit from anti-blackness, I could have done better. You know, like
I
now
get that.
I'm like sharing all of this, or I'm like summarizing my thoughts and like putting them into notes for Danny to look at as my like ACC notes. Like I didn't try my best with the goal that we're aiming for like in diversity and inclusion. You know, like we're making that CDP of diversity and inclusion goal, but I didn't intentionally define why we needed it. Like I said, this is what we should be doing, but then I hadn't given like why we needed it. And now that I know why it's so important, I feel like I should have worked harder on that. You know?
I get that, but I feel like you can't like beat yourself up about that sort of thing because like it's you just like weren't aware of it, and like
Yeah, I know.
what are you gonna do about it now?
You know what it. I don't know. It's more of like a vibe where it's like I know I shouldn't feel bad about it, but like I do. You know, like if I had just read more or like known a little bit more.
Mm,
These conversations I had with Charlie Berman during class or advising like would have gone so much more smoothly. Like not even just in terms of like more properly educating me, but like for me, you know, like I got super anxious whenever I had to talk about stuff because I felt like I wasn't educated enough on it, and I never actually like took the steps to do so. But now I'm kind of like I don't know. It's a lot of content all at once.
just try to or try not to overwhelm yourself. Like do your best to do your part, but like also you're still just one person, and you can't be expected to like do everything out there.
I think it's still like I feel like at the end of the day, the way that I'm trying to approach it is for my personal development, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I do want to be able to help more people within the communities that I end up in. But like, I feel like I'll be able to do that better if I feel better about myself.
I get
Because
that.
I want to be confident that if I end up in a conversation with someone like Charlie Berman, I can like stand my ground rather than like break down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Say hi to Nikki for me.
Nico says hello. The Minecraft one, and he's the other one.
uh, my avatar is Ace from shoot from. I literally just watched this movie. Wow. Um, it's about space and war, and it was like a allegory. Is allegory the word? I don't know. It was like a metaphor for the Vietnam War. Um, it's on Netflix. It's I cannot remember the name. Fun, cool. My memory is going to shit, dude. It's so bad.
But of course, like all of everything that I've been doing is kind of buffered by the fact that I'm still watching Avatar, I'm watching Queer Eye,
Have you finished Avatar yet?
Jurassic Park. I have not finished Avatar.
I'm
I'm
disappointed in you.
season 2, episode 5.
How now that you're on season 2, how are you feeling?
Sokka with his hair down is fine. I actually really like. I actually am really enjoying it.
I'm glad to hear that.
Like
I
at
would.
first it's kind of I don't know. Like I feel like
It starts off
I had
pretty
too
slow.
high expectations. I had such high expectations every season. I feel like a factor of that is because so many people have nostalgia attached onto it, but like objectively by the storyline, it is a very enjoyable series. Um, I just wonder because obviously, okay, I wasn't thinking about it before. I was just watching the like the cartoon because I was like on cartoon. But then I talked to Phoebe about it. She watched the whole thing and she really enjoyed it. And then she started talking about like, I wonder what role cultural appropriation plays in this cartoon. Like how they've appropriated like Asian practices of spirituality. And I was like, huh. And now, like, Phoebe's making me think too hard when I'm watching Avatar, you know?
I would recommend not trying to analyze it while you're watching it. Um, I get what Phoebe's saying, but also, um, I like what's the oh there's some off. Um, like where does it cross the line from just like borrowing aspects from a culture, like and cultural appropriation and like in my opinion, at least I mean it's not as strong because I'm not from any of the cultures that the show is based off, but like I don't think it's very appropriative. I think it's actually really respectful with how it treats a lot of the cultures it
But
represents.
I think that it is, to a certain degree, appropriation if you look at the production team and see, like, I haven't looked at the production team, but I'm saying that it would be more so appropriation if majority of the production team is the like from like white people. If that makes sense.
Okay, but
Because there's like the whole concept of appropriation is when people who typically have the upper hand in a society take the work or like cultural practices of a minority group and basically not claim it as their own, but like use it in a way that might not resonate with members of that minority community. Like Coldplay,
what did Coldplay do?
a lot of people like Coldplay, but they like were basically in like holy powder, like the Indian
Oh,
studio and like dancing through the streets of India, and like that's another thing of like them using a different culture as their form of art.
Mhm.
And like I personally enjoy Avatar a whole lot, but I'd be interested in what someone from like the Japanese community might feel about it.
Well, the voice actor for Uncle Iroh for the first several seasons, he dies some part through production. Um, which is incredibly sad. There is a really sad episode about it. I think towards the end of, well, not about it, but they dedicate an episode to him. I think later in season 2, but he's Japanese. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd have to do more looking into it because I feel like one person wouldn't be enough justify. I don't know.
I think like I get culture. I get not speaking from Asian, like as an Asian who practices that culture, that my like what I say isn't as important. However, I do think that Avatar has been like is a very respectful show, and just because they're borrowing elements from Asian cultures, like doesn't like borrowing. I personally don't think borrowing elements from another culture is inherently appropriation.
I don't know. I think I've just watched so many good, like well written animes. Like sure there is a like trashy one that people are very interested in, but like there's so many well written animes that are I don't know, written by people you look or not look up, but like they're written by people who share the same experiences as the characters in the anime. And I wonder what like how Avatar kind of fits into that.
That's one of the things though about Avatar.
I think like regardless of whether it's respectful, there are so many borrowed elements. Like for example, even if people fix their hair in a certain way because they think that it's like they like the style and they feel they're doing it in a way that's respectful. I don't know. Intent can get in the way of like how people interpret the cartoon.
I think personally, and I saying this just about cultural appropriation in general, like you have to give people the benefit of the doubt, especially considering intent, because um like if someone were to appropriate like Hispanic culture, or like if someone were to like if Avatar: The Last Airbender had Hispanic culture elements in it, like the way they represent it is in such a way. I don't know exactly how to say what I'm thinking, but I just think that like I not talking about other shows. Avatar at least I think is a very respectful show, and it doesn't like having watched the whole thing several times. It I don't think at any point it really dives into appropriation at any points. Um, and I think um, they are very good at keeping things neutral, and a lot of the experiences that the characters have are very neutral and like anyone can have those same experiences no matter what culture you're from.
Yes, I'm reading a Reddit thread.
About Last Airbender and cultural appropriation.
Yeah, there's one. There's an article about how Avatar using Last Airbender to explain why cultural appropriation is wrong but morally permissible.
Remind me what permissible means.
Like people are okay with it.
Uh-huh.
Um, like okay with the fact that it is cultural appropriation. And then there's a Reddit thread that's asking why Last Airbender is praised for its cultural influences when similar shows get backlash. I am currently reading. Okay, so it basically says for the assimilation of culture, cultural appropriation is only morally permissible if and only if the integration is happening with consent and informed insider of the culture. That's one side where they say that like the movie version of The Last Airbender is blatant cultural appropriation because, to my understanding, most of the characters are white in it.
Yeah, the movie version. I'm not sure I'm on the set. Well, like apparently he said at some point during some sort of press conference, he was like, uh, it was about the names because they mispronounce every name. It's Ong or like Sokka or something. Um, and I don't know. Just all the names are like pronounced wrong. And he said like in some sort of conference about it. He was like, I was trying to like pay respect to the cultures that these the shows representing and how those cultures would really pronounce those names. But then he goes ahead and casts everyone as a white person. So, not sure about that one, Mr. Shyamalan.
Yeah, I'd have to do my. I think it's like a harmful form of cultural appropriation because I know that so many Asians enjoy the show. I just it you know how there's that one episode where he's like there's like negative blank, positive blank, and then
Um,
he's like there's also neutral Jing. Is it neutral
it's
Jing?
Jing.
Yeah, I think this is just like a neutral form of cultural appropriation where like yes they are stealing elements of Asian cultures, but I don't think it's in a way that's particularly harmful. In the same way that like I don't know, like the Catch Me Outside girl was like trying to be black, you
Yeah.
know? Like I think that they're completely different. But I do think that there is an element of using Asian culture as the primary aesthetic for that show, which I don't know whether it's at the hands of like actual Asians or if it's happening
I think the creators of the show are two white guys, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the part that I don't feel impact for that. You know?
Yeah.
I'm still gonna watch it. I still think it's great.
The only
I'm just
thing,
reading a lot more, so I'm being very critical of everything
the only thing I'm not a fan of the fact that it became available on Netflix for is now there's a whole lot of people doing like it's fine to think the characters are attractive, but
now.
there's a lot of people who are like kind of being weird about it. And I don't like that.
I mean,
To me, every single character in that show is like innocent, except for maybe Toph.
huh?
To me, all the characters in that show are like innocent and should be protected because they're literally children. None of them are older than 16, for one.
Just to say, another thing I think is funky is looking at the cast of The Last Airbender. Majority of the voice actors are white. So
Well, they all do have American accents.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, the other thing you could say about that is like, why are there no major characters with black voice actors? Like, I
Yeah.
I don't think that is as big of a deal, uh, or at all. Why are there really no black characters? Period.
Yeah. Yeah. That's also a big issue.
Yeah, there's a large lack of people of color in anime.
Well, I think just like generally Asia, there's a big issue on color.
Um, have you heard of the protests? Are getting pretty big in like Japan because like people are getting tired of how racist Japan is.
Yeah. Like you look at any K drama and there's no black people. Like not even black, just like they're on these camps and there's
Yeah,
I don't know, like pictures
Asia's
of
really
like
big on light skin.
yeah. I think some countries, at least I think for the Philippines, because I've never watched a Filipino movie where, like, I've honestly never met Filipinos that are as white as the Filipinos. I feel like to a certain extent, everybody, in terms of colonizer rhetoric, has
Yeah.
been
Um, did you go on the
and
China trip?
where they've always, I don't know, Japan has like
Yeah, but a lot of people from Japan have fair skin,
they do,
and that's just like a natural thing. Um,
yeah. I think there's this whole thing of like being whiter means that you didn't look outside
oh,
because
mhm,
I know that there are a lot of people that I know that are like Chinese or Korean, very different. My skin tone, which is very, very light, yet it's still shows the fact that they're transparent, that they're too dark. And also like even on Japanese sunblock, because I use one because it's the only one that doesn't freak me out. They have a
mhm,
completely different rating on their sunblock. They have SPF, but they also have the PA rating, and that basically is a rating of how
Oh.
There's a lot of ingredients that I don't contribute to, but
Yeah, one of the things I was gonna say is you didn't go to the China trip, right?
I did.
Oh, you did. Do you remember all those like skin whitening ads that were like
Yeah.
there was a bunch of ads for like skin lightening creams and stuff. There's also like I remember there was an ad that came out a while ago that was really bad because it was like this girl, this Asian lady, and actually this might be fake because it's really like that unbelievable. But um, I've never heard whether it's fake or not. But it's this Asian lady with a black boyfriend in a white shirt. I think it's an ad for a washing machine. She she like puts her boyfriend in the washing machine with this like stained white shirt, and he comes out as a incredibly light skinned Asian man with a pristine white shirt.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if that was true. But I am still disappointed. I don't know. It's like there's a lot of things that's not great. That's why I feel like it's important for me to read stuff because by being Asian, I have contributed to systems for racism. Like maybe not so much here. Well, I probably have in some ways, but definitely like being Asian and like not acknowledging how we look down on people who are dark. Like it's even like they honor people who are papers. It's not even like they're not papers, you know?
Yeah.
There's also this they had like the first season, like the first season K-pop.
Oh, interesting.
He's Korean American and black, and like there's this whole other I was left behind by neither community, but at least for here,
Haha, I can relate.
yeah, it'd be like she's not even like she is black, but she's not
Yeah.
but she is and
Gee. Jesus.
It's like she's gorgeous.
Um, speaking about K-pop, have you seen? Uh, do you have Chloe on Snapchat? I have Chloe on Snapchat, and okay, first of all, she overshares like hell. Um, she's like something that she posted the other day was like thinking about running away because my mom yelled at me, and it's like I know she has a bad home life, but also like is that something? Hmm. She calls herself fat, and she's literally one of the skinniest people I know. Creepy cave noise. Don't like. Yeah.
Because I feel like it's not even something we're gonna pretend. I think it's something that
But on the note of K-pop, she is a K-pop stan, of course, as you may have noticed in your time at Crystal. Um, but she posted on her story, like, I think it was earlier today or yesterday. She was like, "Wow, I blew up on Twitter in the stan community for being attractive," and then immediately got like criticism for not being active on Twitter. And I feel like that's such like a subtle flex. Just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You know what I don't like? I don't like when people know they're attractive. Like, do you feel that sometimes?
um Sometimes, because some people are really like entitled about it.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything.
Some
Yeah, sorry. Continue.
Yeah, I get that, because sometimes people are like really entitled about like how attractive they are, and not even that. Some people are like entitled about it. Some people are just like I know I'm attractive, and it's just like this like pompous like I'm attractive.
I think there's a difference between like confidence and like
Yeah,
clothing. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's what I'm like trying to get at. Is like there's like people who are confident in how attractive they are, and that I'm fine
Yeah.
with. Good for them. You should be
Yeah, but
confident with
people
yourself.
revolve their whole personality around the physical appearance. It becomes like
Yeah,
unbearable. You know, like when I was friends with Ethan Goldberg, he was cool, and then everyone started DMing him saying that he was attractive, and then suddenly all he was himself,
gross.
and it was like you just lost all of your brand. But I don't know. Stan, Stan culture is like so.
I really don't know. Actually, you know what? Excuse me. um, I I appreciate what K-pop Stan Twitter has done during the Black Lives Matter movement.
I mean, like
However,
all the blood, all of the
yeah.
facts, but yeah.
However, I do not think that makes up for the fact that a lot of K-pop stans have done a lot of really shitty stuff. Like really shitty stuff, and I don't think
Just by liking K-pop, they're contributing to this.
did I ever show you that this meme? Um it's like some like weirdly drawn Garfield, and he's talking to John Arbuckle, and he's like, it's someone voiced it over to and did a Garfield voice, which is kind of funny. But he's like, John, uh, like participating in K-pop, or like the culture of K-pop, is actually incredibly harmful because it perpetuates impossible beauty standards, and also uh, slightly racist uh, views because of the colorism it promotes. And it was basically just calling out K-pop for being incredibly problematic.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, Stans always make these videos of like, oh my gosh, idols.
I also think stans are just really
This,
creepy.
yeah. And there was this whole thing that I saw on my feed a while ago, where it was like K-pop idols love their plus size fans. They love their black fans, and it's like they shouldn't be praised for like doing stuff that's normal, you know?
Yeah.
There's so much like glorification of the
think stan culture is not good. Period.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm one to talk because I do dabble, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I'm doing the background thing. You know what I mean? Or like I'm not just like blindly doing things like some people do. I'm thinking specifically the Twitters that I've seen.
Yeah, a lot of stan K-pop stan Twitter is like really just like horrible.
But yeah, like they genuinely don't really understand.
Yeah. Um.
And another note, you know what's also preposterous is the amount of people that are not social distancing in their grad.
Oh, see, I also took grad photos with people.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I also like took a picture with Mark. He was in the car next to me for like 2 seconds. But I feel like, okay, I only know this because Ruthie, and you know how Ruthie is. Like, Ruthie knows everything, and
Ruhi
I don't
loves
know
to
how to know
snoop, and I
everything.
love it. Ruhi
Yeah,
loves to
Ruthie is
snoop.
the kind of person who keeps me gossip.
Ruhi loves to snoop and gossip, but she does it in like a way that's not like problematic snooping.
Yeah. Anyways, she exposed like the whole like Susanna, Izzy,
Oh,
Justin on the
that's a
video
problematic
having
friend
a
group.
sleepover.
They had a sleepover?
Yeah, they had a sleepover,
Oh, don't know about that.
and I was
Yeah, I can't recommend having a sleepover during the middle of a global pandemic where staying home and away from other people is a highly.
and they were like, "It's okay, we were social distancing, but like I highly,"
Yeah.
and that's like, I don't know, big time privilege time.
Um, I also think I was gonna say something. I totally lost my train of thought because I got distracted. That's that was so bad. I was gonna say something. It's gonna be about that friend group being problematic. Guess we'll never know.
Oh, we know.
No, I mean just guess we'll never know what I was gonna say because I keep
Yeah,
forgetting.
but I feel like whatever you were going to say, I probably already know. You know?
That's a very fair assumption. Um, on a side note, not necessarily that they're toxic, although they are. Um, didn't like Justin and Susanna, like I know they broke up, but I thought they like hated each other.
I thought so too.
Cause I'm like they definitely did not like each other very
Yeah, they
strongly.
hated each other.
I feel like that whole friend group is sort of pressured to like be friends.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if
But, yeah.
I feel like if they weren't like Asian, all Asian, and their like families weren't all friends with each other, um, that they would probably not all be friends, at least not after like everything that that friend group has been through.
I mean, you know who I'm friends with. And, like, frankly, I don't stay friends with people I don't like.
Hmm.
You know? Like, if there was a bump in the road that never got patched up, that was just the end of the friendship, you know?
I'm like certain it is.
And also, oh my god, I also only noticed because of Ruby, but she shares Susanna's TikTok.
It has a TikTok. Actually, why am I surprised? Everyone has a TikTok.
I know that me and like we don't like gel, but like this one is
I'm not
Susanna.
surprised. I feel like a lot of people don't gel well with Susanna.
Anyway, and I think there's something there that maybe I can learn how to because like I have so many friends who are good friends with her, so there might be something fun for But she basically had a TikTok that was like how I got into UPenn, and that like one of those videos where she put like her SAT score, her GPA, like everything,
That's such a.
which like I don't know, like that's not something like it's not something that's bad per se, but it makes me feel a little envious, you know?
I think that's bad. Like
And
it's
then
one thing to say like I got into UPenn. To celebrate is one thing, and then to say like UPenn uh, likes good test scores. That's like what helped me get in was good test scores. If you're looking to get into UPenn, I would recommend that. But then to like make a TikTok like how I got into UPenn, look at my really high SAT score, look at my really high AP scores. Like that's I don't like that. I think that's bad.
and I will say school that I toured, but if you look at all of the people who are going that's not me. You know,
Yeah,
I'm kind of glad I did apply there. But also she posted another TikTok where she's opening a new Prada bag and she says something about like parental guilt and like that's how she got it. And I
guilting your parents. She would.
know, and it's just like privilege is something like looking at these things, I
I
wouldn't want to do it, and I wouldn't do it, you know.
I would not be able to guilt my mom or dad into buying me anything unless it was like maybe like a pack of gum. Because if it was anything more than like $30 or $40, let alone something as expensive whatever she was buying from Prada, like they would be like you don't do you fucking know how much I've done for you the past 18 years you've been alive? Like I don't owe you shit.
Yeah,
And I've already gotten that talk without having to try and guilt my parents.
it's very ethical.
um, I never really liked Susanna that much. There's a lot of people who I don't really vibe with, but I do my best to not make that very public, or at least not. Like, I probably will never talk to Susanna ever again, so I really don't care if that bridge is burned. I'm still not gonna.
Satisfying about the fact that people will continue to do that.
Yeah. Uh,
She's out of like
I probably will never talk to Susanna
Well,
ever
you're
again.
quiet again.
I'm quiet. I wasn't talking.
Oh, okay. It was like a TV playing in the background.
Oh, oh, lava. That is lava. I'm not going that way.
I feel like there are like a few people I don't vibe with in my class,
My thing
and I don't know if it's because I have like a personal bias or if it's like actually stuff there.
for me, a lot of the time, it's like it usually because I try and be very non-confrontational, and I try my best to get along with everyone as much as I
Yeah,
can
same.
because I would really rather not be on anyone's bad side, and I'd rather not have anyone be on my bad side. It's because it's just a headache having to have people who you like are, I don't want to say enemies, but like um it's just a headache not to like vibe with people because just yeah. Um, so I always try and like be nice to everyone, but there's definitely like people at school who I haven't had like serious experiences with, and sometimes they're like secondhand experiences where one of my friends has an experience with that person, and I'm like, will not be talking to you. Um, Gonna be honest, not a ton of names come to mind off the top of my head. Bad memory, you know. Um, One that I'm still not sure about. Oh, that is more lava. Let's block that. Um, is Elaine because of how her and Max broke things off.
Mm,
Um, I don't know if you heard anything about that.
no, I did not. Honestly, I avoid. You know me. I avoid that topic.
Would it be bad if I spoke about it?
No, no, no. You can talk about it,
Okay.
but I'll probably distract over like 10 minutes if I say it.
So the main reason, from what I understand, that they broke up, um, I think Max, from what it sounded like, it was really just that Elaine kind of worried about him too much, because he would make, I guess, self-deprecating jokes or like Gen Z humor that's like I'm gonna kill myself, or which is bad, and I think you should stop. And he, um, I've told him before, I think you should stop. But that's not so for other people, more so for himself, because I know even just stopping saying stuff like that can really help your mental health. Um, but she took a lot of that really seriously, and apparently was like always really worried about him. Um, and I guess she asked him to stop, and he didn't stop, and so um, as far as I'm aware, that's really the main reason they broke it off.
I feel like I don't know to a certain extent.
Um,
Like I don't blame her for being concerned,
I don't blame her for
and like
being concerned and asking him to stop, but I think there's a better way to go about having him stop. And not to say she doesn't have the right to break it off if that's why she wants to break it off, but I think it could have, like, that could have happened better.
I don't know. I feel like even though like that can be harmful to the person on the receiving end as
Hmm.
well, because like that's not something you want to spend your time doing. And like maybe from her perspective, that isn't a large portion of why their relationship ended.
I'm
Like I can
No,
get
there's
that.
definitely more. I'm definitely forgetting, but that there was definitely at least like one other major factor, but that was one of however many major factors. Um,
Yeah,
I'm
the
def.
biggest issue, I did it bad. You're gonna be like, I was mad. You're correct.
Mhm.
That's scary.
Um, the issue though, the major issue I have with Elaine now is how she reacted with it. Like, what's the word? Posthumously.
That's like post death.
Yeah, I mean, it's not entirely the wrong word to use in my opinion. But uh, how she dealt with things with uh at formal, they ended it like 2 days before formal, which is yikes. But at the post-formal party, he was like drinking, and he has a high tolerance, a high enough tolerance where he was still apparently consciously avoiding Elaine for most of it. But I guess at one point he was somewhat near her and said something self-deprecating or along those like uh, that sort of line of humor. Um, and apparently she like freaked out about it and was like
I'm sure she wasn't in a great state either.
Yeah. But she was like, why would you say that around me? Like, you know how I feel about that. Like, you were drunk. Like, I'm so worried about you. Why would you say that around me? Especially about drinking. And then she apparently was like, I don't want you to ever talk to me. Like, it's okay if she doesn't want him to talk to her again. Okay, I still think that's a little far, maybe, but she has the right to want that. But apparently, she also said, never talk to me or any of my friends ever again. Never, like, basically, never look in my direction. The issue with that is that Max is kind of friends with Susanna and several other people that Elaine is friends with, and it's like, especially in a school as small as Crystal, even if he wasn't like decent friends with Susanna or anyone else, like it's just like absurd to ask never like make contact again with any. And she did something else too, but that was like the main part of it was that she like is asking him to do this thing that is like kind of not really that
You know who would know
easy.
more about this?
Hmm. Ruhi, yeah, I heard Ruhi heard a lot of it, but I have not asked Ruhi about it.
Yeah.
What was I going to do? I want
You know
cows.
one person who really tickles my muffler.
that's, that's not a saying.
um,
Hello, what the hell?
is Amelia.
What's up with Amelia?
I feel like the conversations are not like she just strikes me as someone who, like, whether or not she's aware of it, very hypocritical because she complains a lot about crystal culture, which are like valid things to complain about, but she also contributes to it a fair amount.
Hmm.
And I had a conversation with her. Like, she's never done anything bad against me because we're like friends. But like
Fucking
trying
tickles
to
my
measure my
muffler.
perspective, I feel like so many people forget the apologies that she did not get into,
Yeah, she
and I
did do a bit
feel
of
like
that.
maybe to a certain extent that's her trying to create her own, like, where's the open space here? It's not filling this up. Like,
What do you?
maybe to a certain extent that's her trying to cope with the fact that she was not able to get in, and she's trying to justify that. But I just it makes me feel not.
I definitely witnessed some of that. Um, I thought it was a bit like gratuitous, I guess is because it was just like, I don't, I don't know if that's like a valid criticism to make. Um,
On Samarianism?
yeah,
Yeah.
like a lot of things she said were sort of like really though, is that? Are you sure?
Yeah. And she also told Mila at like in like freshman year to like not become friends with Phoebe because she said that like Phoebe did some like weird stuff in middle school and you don't want to be friends with this girl.
Oh, that's
And I'm
not
like,
nice.
Phoebe is like the sweetest person in the whole wide world. You know?
Yeah.
And obviously I'm gonna side with her.
Um, I mean, for the most part, my relationship with Amelia has been like being upset that we have to, that we like, were in art. Neither of us thoroughly enjoyed that class for the entirety of the first semester. I think we both fell into the rhythm of things by second semester, but we both were not the happiest campers.
Yeah.
Um, any sticks?
There were also some funky things that would hurt said to my parents.
Oh,
I won't like shit on any of it because I won't judge by their current actions.
was it like pointed at you or pointed at others?
It was like asked if my mom had gone to college.
Oh, that's not something you usually ask people.
I heard.
That yikes! I don't like that.
Yeah, not a fun time.
I'm very glad that for the most part my family avoided any like racism at Crystal, but I think that's also because my family didn't socialize a ton except with other families of color who were very not Indians or uh because the Indian families are several of them are kind of slightly racist. Um and we also didn't socialize with like Justin Chen or that friend group and their family. Like I was friends with Justin, but like we didn't like talk to his family. Um, but yeah, I also think it's because like I don't think it's impossible to tell that people in my family are POC, but we all are very light skinned. Um, and I'm pretty sure
Where you cut out from me.
we're all very white skin or light skin and white pass to a certain extent. And um, funny story. So I went to a K through 8. I had a guy who like halfway through 8th grade I did a presentation on this dictator from Argentina. Um and I was like after I did the presentation this guy was like, "Hey Nico, why'd you choose that guy?" I was like, "Oh, cuz my mom's from Argentina. My mom my mom's parents were in the country during that time. Like they knew people who got disappeared. And they
They
were
knew people who got disappeared.
well that's what it's called.
Oh,
Uh, Los desaparecidos are people who were quote unquote disappeared by the government, which really means that they were forced into exile some way or killed. Um, but I was like, yeah, my mom's from Argentina. My grandparents raised her there, brought her over, and um, they're like, "You're Argentinian? I thought you were white this entire time." And I knew this kid since kindergarten. They thought I was white for 9 years, pretty much. I'm similarly. I'm really sad I didn't keep up with some of those middle school friendships because most of them I'm fine with burning that bridge because a lot of those kids were absolute dicks. But also that might just be like middle schools are kind of just dicks. So, um, but there were some people actually that I was really good friends with by the end of middle school, and didn't really keep up with that.
Got my letter from myself in sixth grade recently,
Mm.
and that was an atrocity.
I I hate writing letters to myself. The first one I wrote to myself, I think, was with. Do you know A Better Chance?
No.
It's this dude. Okay, Thomas is so. I don't remember everyone. I know in our class.
ABC,
Oh
yes.
yeah, Thomas was a part of ABC, and he used to be so like hush hush about it. I think he was like ashamed of being a part of ABC. Um, which I thought was
What is the whole like idea?
it's I don't know exactly what they do or how they do it, but there's I think supposed to like help students of color achieve higher education. So they help a lot of students of color get into high school. I think they sort of basically just like put in a word for you at high school so they're like familiar with. And then I think they are supposed to do the same with college. It's supposed to run through high school and into college. But I definitely have not been active in the program since my high school uh, like process. So that was kind of a not like they're definitely not gonna. They were supposed to write letters of recs for all of they call I think they call people scholars. I didn't get one. Like it was definitely a copy and paste letter of rec that had no individuality for people whatsoever, but I still didn't get even a copy paste letter of rec from them for colleges. Um, I'm not beat up about it though because I'm not a huge fan of the lady who runs the like West Coast sector.
How come?
She was rude to my sister a couple times, who was also in it. Yeah, it wasn't like super rude, but she was definitely rude and never apologized and continued to like make it my sister's fault. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna I'm not gonna like you.
In more fun news, Miss Chang sent me a letter.
Yeah, like to your house.
Mm-hmm.
That's sweet.
Because I replied to her in an email about her speech,
Um,
and she like, for a while I was like, oh, that's kind of sad. She didn't respond to my really long email.
mhm.
Sweet.
I can imagine. I never had Miss Chang actually, but she seemed like a very like caring teacher. And
I love this a lot more than Mr. Wisdom's has.
I don't remember Mr. Wisdom's at all.
I think the whole base premise of his speech was like, don't follow your passion, follow what you're good at.
Oh, I
Like,
feel
I
like I'm
remember a lot of
remembering
people
that
had
now.
like captions about it.
Mhm. I feel like I remember that now. Some. Yeah, it was a little like problematic. I think for not problematic, but like people didn't agree with it. Al- yeah. Although I do get what he's saying because
but I feel like at least faking optimism.
yeah, but I have heard like a lot of people who are like recommending what new like college grads should go to for work, or even when you're like applying to colleges, what you should choose as your major. I've heard a lot of people recommend like hey, you know your favorite class that you really love, and you think like this is something that I should study for 6 years and get a master's in, and then go into work for that for like the next 30, 40, 50 years of my life. Yeah, don't do that, because what you love will then become work. And even though when people like, there's that saying like, oh, you never work a day in your life if you're doing what you love. That's just not true. And it can be really draining to do what you love, and it sucks to have something that you love to do become this thing that you dread doing.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm like really fucking worried about what I chose to major in, because like what if I end up hating it after 2 years? What if I'm like, fucking this sucks now? Why did I choose this?
The thing is, in my like, I either like doing something I enjoy doing or something that I already dislike.
Mm,
Because like I'm thinking strictly in terms of like STEM versus humanities. Like I enjoy doing STEM and also immensely dislike writing essays. So for me, it's like if the thing that I'm good at is the thing that I enjoy, like I don't know. I feel like there's no like I don't think I can end up hating what I'm doing more than I would if I did something that I already do. Does that make any sense?
yeah.
Props to the people who can like
do politics.
Mm-hmm.
do politics.
Miss Chang's speech.
You just lagged out for me.
Oh, I just said I liked Miss Chang's speech.
Oh, it was very sweet. Although I hate to admit that I did zone out for some of it because I couldn't relate to a lot of what she was saying, or like I just didn't have her as a teacher, so I'm on fire. Or it's just like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stinks that you didn't get to have her as a teacher. She's like genuinely one of the best teachers at Crystal, and that's coming from someone who dislikes English.
Yeah, that's why I'm really disappointed, because she seems like she would have been a great teacher, and I much would have preferred her
Over Fisher?
over Lad and over
Oh,
Fisher.
yeah.
I thought like Lad was kind of cool at first, like he was like a fine teacher, and I forget exactly what he did, but he definitely was like kind of an asshole at one point, and I was like, I don't know what exactly I did to piss you off, but like I don't deserve this.
One time he gave Kira like a bad grade because he didn't agree with what she was saying. Like, not that it was a bad essay, but because he didn't agree.
Yeah, I think it was something along that lines of that, because I think I remember being really upset. I was like, how, like, why is that a mark off? Like, that's not even like a technical issue of what I wrote. Like, that's just you like not liking what I wrote. Like, why are you giving me a bad grade for that? I think I wrote a short story one time.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on tomorrow. Yeah, I'm making them for all the cards. I have my cards already ready, so. Yeah, that's if I don't go to Lolo's tomorrow, that's what I'll be doing. I don't know. I'm just drawing whatever because I'm talking to Nico right now.
Okay, dance studio. Let's check your dance studio. Are you getting ejected in the recording room?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I wrote a short story one time for his class, and it had to do with like high school, and I think it had to do with bullies. Although, like, granted, it was a little immature. Like, what the bullies in my short story were doing was like a little immature for high school. Like, even for high school bullies, it was a little immature. However, like, it's not something you wouldn't see in like
A movie.
yeah, in like a bad high school movie. You wouldn't see, like, it wasn't like incredibly far-fetched to believe. It just like wasn't the most realistic portrayal of high school bullies. And he's like points off, not mature, like not realistic. It's like, this is a short story. Like, since when do short stories have to be realistic for a good grade? This is supposed to be like a technical thing, and you're really gonna give me a short
About a guy or like a kid who had like dreams that happened in real life.
You've
Like,
cut
I
out
feel
the
like.
first part of what you just said, so
No, didn't you guys read a short story about a kid whose dreams came to life?
oh, I would not remember.
Like, it was the creepy one.
I mean,
There were like razor blades and apples, I think.
oh, that was this year.
Oh.
It wasn't dreams. It was short stories that he wrote. It was an adult, and a lot of his stories revolved around like children's dying. But that was because like his parents abused his brother for like 7 straight years. They like literally like physically like had him locked up in a room and were like physically abusing him as this like fucked up social experiment to be like, how will this affect his like artistic nature and
Yeah.
his like writing.
That's funky stuff.
It was interesting.
They're very like
actually,
copy pasta-esque.
The stories that we read.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. That story actually was one of the ones I liked a lot more. This year. Mostly just because of the humor. Like, aside from how like absurd and creepy it was, it had some really good humor in it. It had some solid absurdist humor, and I'm a fan of absurdist humor.
Yeah, I'm a big fan as well.
I feel like absurdist humor is a big thing for our generation.
Yeah, where it's like
I just saw
Like-
just saw a video essay attributing that to Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
oh no.
The video essay was like I forget exactly what they talked about in like the first half, but like at some point they were basically saying that like, yeah, Diary of a Wimpy Kid was a really, really popular book series, and it was also really weird with some really absurdist humor.
Yeah.
Now look at the generation who grew up reading that, and look at their humor. Look how it's quite absurdist.
Nikki reads it too.
Oh, she does. I love that.
Yeah. I loved that series.
I remember reading those books, but I don't know if I owned any. I think I borrowed them from my middle school's library.
I think I had every hardcover version.
That's incredible.
I know. That's why Nikki's reading it now. Like when you know in college essays where they ask about the last book you read for pleasure?
Oh my god. Was it Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
It was well, I didn't say that obviously, but if I was being honest, it was Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Honestly, you should have said that. That would be amazing. I would
So
love to
good.
be the admissions counselor who has to read that an applicant last read diary of War and Be Kid for Pleasure.
Yeah.
That is, on that note, I have gripes with higher education.
I do too.
I talked to my mom about this, and she doesn't quite understand it, but I think it's very, in layman's terms, because I don't really want to get into it, but it's exclusive, and
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah. 100%.
it's just really bad.
Yeah.
It's mostly exclusive, in my opinion, like money wise. It's
Yeah,
so
and
expensive.
just like the phrase, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
And like the value people place on networking. Because like I also read another like book about higher education. I can't remember who wrote it, but I feel like I'm becoming VJ. I think I should point that out. Where like now I'm reading all these things,
I'm
and
gonna start
it's
reading
bad.
dissertations, whatever a dissertation is.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, there was this whole thing that someone read, or someone wrote about like networking and stuff, and how like everyone trashes affirmative action because it gives unfair advantage to underprivileged young adults. But like look at the things that aren't called affirmative action but have the same definition of like legacy, networking, like all these things that don't actually involve your intellect
Mm-hmm.
that influence where you end up ultimately.
Yeah.
Like unfortunately that is how things are, but it's like
That is what we in the business call being cracked.
yes.
Um no, yeah, it's just so, and like the people who benefit from that part of it like will never see that it is exclusive.
Yeah. That's the I think that's the whole thing of like me not liking Suzanne.
Well, it's um this is something along those lines, but I think it fits well. Is like there are people who have, it's not even just like biases that they have, but like beliefs or the way they act, and it's like not that it's impossible, but they're very set on believing what they believe, and it's gonna be really hard to change what they believe or influence them in some other way. Um, and this came up with my sister, um, because she has been very, uh, she's always been pretty activist, and um, I support that. But especially lately, she's been very like, if you don't agree with me, like I'm blocking you. Don't even talk to me. And I
Yeah.
get that it's difficult to deal with like bigots because and people who are going to stubbornly advocate for stuff like people who are against Black Lives Matter, like it's just like that's not even a political thing. You just think that some people don't deserve to live.
Yeah.
Um and while I understand like not wanting to talk to those people just cuz it's a headache, you also can't completely write it off because
The
what's the
people
off
that you need
chance,
to.
yeah, like what's the chance that maybe what you're saying, even if while you're arguing with them, isn't going to change them right then, but it plants a seed of change in that person, or maybe they turn around and talk to like their younger brother or cousin or whatever who's like less set on it, and they're like start talking about what you said, even if they're talking about what you said in a negative light, they're still getting your message out there and proving that
Yeah.
these like bigoted views are not the only views.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important, even if um like who you're talking to would not is very stubborn, it's very important to at least try and have that conversation.
I agree.
She also is a very vocal, all men, blank, person, and she'll say a lot of that like right next to me. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I know I'm not included in that, but like, oh,
Yeah, I'd say that's kind of just like when people say white people are bad.
bro, you know what sucks? Um, this happened. I think I don't know how many times, but it happened at least like twice. I think at Crystal, and it happened a few times. I think in middle school. It's like people are like talking around you, and they're like, "There's no one attractive." Like this happened at Crystal, like word for word. There's no attractive guys at Crystal, and there was me sitting literally right next to the person who said that.
Okay, I say that all the time to you.
Do you?
I feel like I say it in my actions. Like I don't need to say it to say it.
No, but there was someone who just just there's no attractive guys at Crystal, and I don't consider myself all that attractive, but like also you could not say that right in front of me. Oh, and then when like someone turns around, it's like, but you're nice. I hate that. I hate, but you're nice. It
Sounds like something that Rianne would say.
it probably is. I'm so over that at this point. Um, she was there when I took grad photos because Natalie is. It was Natalie who wanted to take grad photos, and she's still close with Rian.
Yeah.
And so she invited Rian too. Um, and so that was. I mean, it wasn't awkward. Well, it wasn't all that awkward. It was a little bit awkward, but it was all very like pleasantries and not actual like.
Oh, I can't. Some of that stuff like gets to me.
Like I said like hi and I smiled. Did I mean that I was glad to see her? That's a separate question altogether. Yeah, but I'm over that. I put enough effort, or not effort, energy into that.
I have so many like not related to that, but like on the subject of like people being attractive at Crystal. One, okay, I've said this before and I'll say it again. 90% of women are more attractive than men. That's just how it is. But
I'll
also,
agree with that.
I'm literally just like, maybe it's because like girls put a lot more effort into their physical appearance than guys do. Because there's something about like how some people have such fragile masculinities that they think that them taking care of themselves is like gay. You know, like that's a whole other issue.
I think that's part of it, but I think also part of it is that it's a lot more accepted in culture and like yeah, just I guess society in general. It's a lot more accepted for women to um not only compliment each other and be like, "Wow, you look really good." It's not nearly as accepted for men to say that to each other, although that's coming into fruition. And I
Thinking
hope to see that.
like what about a muscle tee? Do you think is like, you know what I mean? Like would it hurt you to put on like some nice pants? Or like maybe comb your hair?
But I also think part of it is that like, not that men aren't also there's not like also like male models, and there's not men out there who are considered to be highly attractive
Yeah.
and all that, but I feel like it's a lot more like just presented in society that women are attractive more than it is with men. Like, just not even like generally, like it's like you just see a lot more stuff like saying like, oh, look at this beautiful woman, and a lot of it is like sexist and problematic, but there's a lot more media that promotes women and uh like how attractive women are than there is men, and it contributes to the idea that just in general men are less attractive. But also I do have to agree because there's a lot of not attractive guys out there.
I don't know. There's some. I can't even like say this out loud. It's like not.
Like,
There are people at Crystal that I find attractive, but it's not because of their physical appearance at all. And it
oh,
like literally pains me because I'm like, Flo, you need to stop.
I don't like I don't like that.
No, it's like, this is. It's so hard because I think I can't. Like, it's not even like just my quarantine brain. It's like it's just a part of my brain that is like tightly shoved in the back of a corner, like crying to get out.
Oh my god, Flo. Quarantine, like, not that I have ever really had success at like getting anywhere near like even just like talking to a girl romantically, especially in recent. Anyways, not that like I would be like staying up late on the phone with someone, like, and falling asleep on FaceTime with people, with a girl. Not that that would be happening anyways, but I just like I feel the need for that to happen now more than ever because
I
I'm
just,
so goddamn lonely.
I literally like it's not that big of a deal. It like I'm just making a big deal out of it, but like this is it's so painful because you know how sometimes you just like enjoy people's company, but you know that if they're you ever pursued them romantically, like it wouldn't live up to what is healthy for you.
Mm.
Like that's just how I feel. Ugh. It's just a bad.
I think I just.
And if I was just about to say, and if I was in person, I would tell you, but I feel like too many people can hear through my walls.
Type it.
We'll get back to that. Because I really need to, like, consider whether this is, like, the best idea or
To
not.
tell me?
Yeah, it's not about you, by the way. I'm sorry
No,
to
I'm sure
disappoint.
it's not.
We're just buds, you know?
Oh, I'm aware of that.
Yeah, I also don't think that I don't think I would be your type. I'm too macho.
Physically, you're not
No.
like.
No, I think mentally.
No. Physically, you're not my type, but you're not like entirely my type.
Yeah. I'm a macho man. Like, I'm just an alpha.
Are you saying not an alpha?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that. I immediately was like, no, yeah, that's exactly what she's saying. Oh,
I'm gonna send you the drawing that I'm doing once I'm done. Because I've been drawing it our whole conversation, and it's really turning out great.
What is it of?
You'll see it when it's done.
Okay.
But I do think that there are guys at Crystal that are attractive, just like they're like I feel like everyone at Crystal. I use the same analogy with Ruhi. Like if we were talking about the Club Penguin Dojo, like some people are just white belts when it comes to like relationship experience.
Is white belt high in the Club Penguin Dojo?
It is like the default.
Oh, it's the default. Oh wait, what am I talking about? That's like anything that has a white belt. White belt is default.
Yeah.
Um, no, yeah, there's definitely like, and this is I don't think this is a boys versus girls thing at Crystal. I think there's a lot of people at Crystal who would be very bad in relationships.
Yeah, I also
Maybe.
think there are a lot of people at Crystal who settled.
Ooh, very. Were there any relationships in our grade other than Will and Catherine by the end of the year?
I don't know, like probably Allie and
Oh,
Aaron.
I forgot about them. They're not relevant.
Yeah.
Is Sophie Lockton still with
Yeah.
Eric? Really? Oh.
But
Good
I
for
don't
them, I
think
guess.
I think he's done some bad things.
Oh, not good for them.
Yeah.
I'm turning this swamp into my farm. I really like how it's turning out so far, but I'm very like low on seeds. But there's 100% a lot more attractive girls, especially at Crystal, than there are guys. Well, actually, I think that is mostly our grade because this is gonna sound weird because they're younger than us, but there's a lot more attractive like younger. Like I feel like people are just getting more attractive.
I think they're just admitting more students.
Do you think so?
Yeah. I will say, like, this is just completely objective because, like, I don't know. I don't like men. You know? Like, I like them as my friends, but sometimes they're a lot, you know? That's not to say I'm not a lot, but they're also a lot. But Siobhan in glasses and a suit, I'm not mad at
Has he
it.
ever worn glasses?
He wears them in English class, which probably isn't a place
I
you
always
would see
forget
him.
he
But
wears glasses because he wears contact lenses. Or actually, I think he just needs reading glasses. So yeah. I've heard comments about Siobhan.
from Ruhi?
No, not from Ricky.
Oh. Ruhi and I talk about this.
I personally wouldn't agree, but I also have like I'm not. I would, as far as I'm aware at the moment, I am not interested in pursuing a romantic relationship with another man. But I still have like what I find attractive in men.
Yeah.
Like, and he does not fall in that for me.
Interesting.
I'm a lot more my like the who I find attractive and who I would date is very different lists. But my who I find attractive for for females. I don't like that. That's gross. Um, is who I find attractive and who I would date is very different lists. Part of that though is just because I don't know if I would really date a lot of people because I have zero confidence.
I literally live by the motto fake it till you make it, except it's more like settle till you make it.
Oh,
But it's okay. We'll do better in the future. I think I have an A1 personality, which stands for Alpha 1.
is that the rocket that Elon Musk launched the other day?
I did not know that.
You
Maybe?
didn't hear SpaceX launched?
There are a lot of things happening in the world right now,
That's fair.
Nico.
I'll
I-
give you that one. No, they sent some astronauts. I think they sent them to the International Space Station. Do you think Russian and American astronauts ever get into fights over like Cold War space race stuff?
Maybe.
I think that would be really funny if they did. Like even if it wasn't serious fights, that would be really funny.
Yeah. I don't think they do though. I feel like there are more tensions between Russia as a country and America as a country than there are between specific Russians and Americans.
Yeah,
Or not specific, but individual.
we should bring back cosmonauts. That
They have such a cooler name.
cosmonauts is such a cool name. Who the fuck thought astronauts was better?
I know.
Oh, just because it's American, no, but it's fucking lame.
I know.
I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. Although the first
Are
time,
you on audio?
yeah, no one's
Oh.
on my stream by the way. So like,
No, I think this is I've been watching a lot of podcasts and this kind of feels like I'm having my own podcast.
I've been considering. I'm really upset I didn't do it for the first one. But I've been pretty hard considering, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do it. Is I'm gonna start uploading the I think people call them VODs to my YouTube channel. Not that I like have a YouTube channel, but like just like the one I use to subscribe to people.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna start posting VODs to my YouTube channel, and I doubt anyone will watch them, but I wanted to start doing that.
You know what's a weird thing that I just remembered from when Max and I were dating?
That's a weird sentence.
I remember at one point he sent me a list of all of the people that he liked in our grade.
Like romantically?
In your room. Yeah, the people that he really liked. Which like if I'm being honest, like I can't like I can't name like 5 people that I genuinely really had a crush on. But anyways, he sent me a list of all of the people that he had a
Wow,
crush
that's
on
really
at Crystal and was like, "Oh, you're not on it."
That's funny. Oh my
Which I
God.
think was just funny because I was like, "Yeah, this is why this isn't working out."
I think it's funny that that was even a list in the first place.
I know.
I could probably. Actually, I don't know about 5, but I could name a few.
I think I can count them on my hand. Like Like the thing is, if I actually like something, or if I actually like someone, I like them for a very long time.
Mm.
But
I have like
I don't know.
sometimes I'll have like several like ongoing like not I don't know if I'd call them crushes, but like sort of like if something were to happen between us, I would be very happy about that. Like you get that? Not quite a crush,
Like
but
mine is like
I don't know.
I try to like discourage myself from like liking people, I guess, because it's like largely unsuccessful.
Yeah, I've tried to discourage myself from that too. Haven't worked out great. I get attached kind of kind of easily.
The thing is, it's always like the worst people. Like not the worst people as in like
Oh,
bad
no,
people,
get
but
out. Go away. Go out. Go away.
as in the most inconvenient people.
Um, I guess. Oh, someone did join my stream at some point. When was that said?
Who's in your
Can I
stream?
check a
You know who my new buddy is?
I can't check a time log. I
Or
don't
not
think.
buddy, but you know who my new pal is?
Who?
Tommy.
I'm glad. Everyone should be pals with Tommy.
Oh, I feel like he's too cool for me. Sometimes I sometimes he texts me and I'm
Tommy
like
would
afraid of texting the wrong thing.
Tommy would disagree with that. Tommy's a very like chill person who's like friends with pretty much anyone who wants to talk to him. I don't know when this person was in my stream or not. So it says I have one viewer when I'm because I like to I can look at it in OBS. I can view my stream in OBS, but I also tend to open it in Twitch and have it running in Twitch.
Hmm. Who is
So
watching you?
so I think some people like will just like look at like random streams, like even if it's one viewer. So I think the one viewer it's saying is me watching my own stream.
It's
Because
kind of sad.
OBS doesn't give a window for that. There's no way to check how many people are watching your stream on OBS. But also like I don't like on that note, I don't know if that one viewer is just me. I'm like 95 or 99.9% sure that it is just me. But like if I close Twitch, how will I know for sure? um but someone joined at some point and said, "Wait, are you dating?" Don't know if that is in reference to people we were talking about or you and me.
I don't think it's you and me because I literally said I don't know. I said something about how I was too alpha.
But I don't know when they said that because I can't check times. That's interesting. I had a viewer and they tried to interact, although I didn't notice that. Oh, slime. We were talking. Oh, crushes and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of developed like, again, I don't know if I would really call them crushes. But like sort of just like inclinations or hopefulness, um, of something happening. Um, because like there are several people out there who like I was like I think you're very attractive and we're like friends. We might not be like the closest of friends, but like
Oh, let me
on
guess.
good terms.
Sauna's very.
Sauna's not on that list. But there was some people I was definitely like, oh, like you're attractive. We're friends. I think we vibe pretty well together. as friends at least. And if something were to develop between the two of us, I would probably not be opposed. Um, but none of that ever really amounted to anything. Marcella was one of those people.
Didn't know that you talked to her.
I used to. I actually fell out of contact with her as well, which I'm also sad about. Because she's actually just like a really cool person. But
She
I didn't
seems
talk
very
to
nice.
her. Yeah, she is.
She's friends with Jack Glenn, so I just assume that she's a nice person.
Yeah. I didn't talk with her a ton. But like, it was always like nice to talk to her. I talked with her like maybe twice, one-on-one. So there wasn't exactly a whole lot to go on. if anything was gonna happen. But that was one of those times I was like, I would be very happy for something to happen, but also like it probably won't, and I'm very, very aware of that.
Très unfortunate. I don't know. Like, if I like someone, it's like I like them regardless if I want or of if I want to or not, and it's like not a great time.
I definitely understand that. I have also tried to be like, hey, I should stop. I definitely thought that a few times with Rianne because I could tell early on at least it definitely was like not going anywhere, and then it seemed to be going somewhere, so I was like, oh, maybe it's not useless to be hopeful, and then we see how that turned out.
Yeah. I don't think I'm even hopeful. It's just the thing where like I catch myself sometimes and I'm like I have to be like snap out of it. I like alpha myself. Essentially. But I think it doesn't really matter because we're going to college, which is a fun and fresh thing. This is such a good drawing, Nico. Do you think if I live streamed myself drawing, people would enjoy it?
Yeah, probably actually. People do that. People live stream them just drawing on Twitch. As far as I'm aware, it's actually a fairly, because there's like Twitch I think used to be very gaming centric, and then they were like, hey, there's actually like a market for non-gaming content streaming. That they have since started like, I might be remembering this wrong, but I think they actively like took down non-gaming content and were like, we are for gamers. That is not a gamer move. Get out of here. But now there's like genres on Twitch. There's like just chilling is a really popular one, I'm pretty sure, where it's literally just like someone will sit in front of their webcam and like talk to their audience.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, if you wanted to stream, yourself drawing, I'm sure, like, I don't know how many people would watch that, just because, like, not a lot of people click on random streams. It's kind of funny. Twitch, I feel like you can make a following just streaming on Twitch, and then eventually people will start watching you, and like you'll grow a following. However, it's also like I feel like Twitch is probably one of the slowest places to grow a following, because people have to like start watching your streams, and sometimes they can be long, and sometimes there's like long stretches of time where something interesting does not happen.
Mhm.
But I mean, I stream to no one. I just like streaming, even if no one's watching.
I just miss talking to people.
That's probably part of it. I feel some like faux connection through streaming.
I don't think I would actually stream because I don't have anything to talk about with myself.
Yeah, I don't know. My last Minecraft stream was like completely silent, completely. You don't have to talk. Unless I'm talking to someone like we are now, I usually, excuse me, I don't talk unless someone were to join the stream and say something in chat.
Mm.
Then I would feel obligated to like respond and stuff. I still want to know about that thing that was like you couldn't say.
It's wait, I'm gonna move to my bed because I think my computer is charged and I would like to move myself. But it's just like I don't know. When I like people, I really like them. And it's not because they are like my type per se, or because they have any like distinct feature about themselves or their personality. It's just like it's a vibe. Which makes it hard because it's a little bit sticky.
I don't like the word sticky.
Oh wait, let me say goodnight to my parents and then maybe I can tell you about my sticky situation. I'll be back.
Okay.
Bye-bye. I am back.
Hello, welcome.
I figured out the location of all of the people in my house. Yeah. I don't know. It's like not that big of a deal. But it gets weird when like you have dreams and then they're there and then you're like, wait a second.
Did you
I didn't
tell me
consent
about
to
this
this.
stream?
Huh?
Did you already tell me about this stream?
I don't know. I feel like I tell you about a lot of my dreams.
You told
So I
me
can't
about
be
a
100%
really weird
sure.
stream. I forget exactly who was in it. But it involves, I think someone, and you were like, I don't like the fact that you're very much.
Yeah, probably. But it's not like a standalone event. It's like a reoccurring thing that makes me. Oh my god! I just went up the stairs, and I'm like, it's like a reoccurring thing, and I don't know how I feel about that.
That's interesting to say the least.
Okay, I'm like a little less winded now. I don't even know how to go about this.
Telling me.
And when I like tell you, maybe you'll be like, oh yeah. Or maybe you'll be like, what? I don't know. Okay, Nico, you gotta realize this is a big deal for me because I really don't like people. Like I don't just meet people and like them.
Mm,
Does that make sense? Like it just
okay.
it's a long-term process. So maybe I'll like talk to you tomorrow and be like, I changed my mind. So that's why I'm like really carefully considering this now. Because there are days where I'm like, this is really it. And there are other days where I'm like, what was I thinking?
I'm so interested in this now.
This is like, I feel like this is the equivalent of if like Ruhi told you that she like genuinely had a big crush and wasn't just fawning over Siobhan. I don't know, dog. I'm just gonna get this line. Oh no. That's not straight. Okay. I didn't like that. Okay. I just need to draw like one more frog that encapsulates all of my emotions. And then I think I'll be good. I feel like this is all unnecessary build-up.
I feel like it's gonna be. You've
It is
disappointed me with your stories
unnecessary.
before. You've been like this is like such a story. Like, it's gonna be like emotionally.
I do that all
taxing.
the time.
And then and then I'm just like, that was so not worth the build up.
Anyways, sometimes I dabble in considering the possibility of maybe maybe I don't know, being a little more than friendly with Gus.
With Gus?
Yeah.
That's not like horrible.
It is horrible.
Why?
Baba. Good night, Baba.
No,
Oh, okay. Get my phone. Oh, we have to take our daily selfie for streaks.
Oh, right. I've been a fan of those.
Of mine?
Your streaks, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy taking them. Nikki enjoys taking them too. Tell me, who do I run to?
What are you drawing?
I don't know. I just started drawing when Nico called. We need to open all of these.
Daily selfie for. Ow.
Streaks.
Ah.
I want to be the bear.
You want to be the pear? Why do you smell like ramen?
I had sourdough bread.
That's not ramen.
Why do we look so orange?
I don't know. That's what the filter does. Oh, it's your favorite. Oh, Nikki. Okay. Ooh. Wait, no, not that. I meant this.
You look like I have a dimple.
It makes you look like you got some serious eyebrows. Ooh, I like these ones.
Tomatoes.
Wait, but there are a lot more. Have you looked at all of them?
I know, but I like the tomatoes.
But what about the Feel and Fine apple?
Strawberries.
There's also a radish.
Tomatoes.
Okay, fine. We'll do the tomato.
The rack of tomatoes.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That filter is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Dimple? No dimple. Dimple? No
No
dimple.
dimple. No dimple.
Okay. Good night, frogs.
Night.
Mwah.
Love you.
Okay. Love you too.
I want to stay a little bit for a cuddle.
Okay.
Goes.
Oh, okay. Ba. Baba. Smells, come on.
But I just love cuddling.
Okay.
Also, what are you drawing?
I don't know. Wait, where did my Apple Pencil go? Where did you put it?
I have an apple pen. Oh, apple pen.
Okay, Bebs. Let me go back to my conversation. Bye, Bebs. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyways, it's bad because one, like, there's the whole thing with Phoebe where they like dated for a little bit, which is like that's bro code. Well, it was mostly Phoebe being like he's like not great at being in a relationship, which is why I think it's also stinky, is because like I don't think like we're on very different playing fields, and I feel like my expectations are not.
Are you saying you're too good for broccoli boy?
No, I'm saying that I'm too tainted for broccoli boy.
I don't like that.
I also think there's a big issue of like Kira has liked him since 5th grade. And like really I'm not willing, like I honestly don't think there's any time or place where he would reciprocate. But I also would like I value my friend's friendship so much that I don't think like I don't think it would be worth it at the end of the day. But it is something that I consider from time to time. Cuz I feel like he knows way too much about my life.
See, that's
And like
that's
when
sort
you
of like-
share when you share a certain percentage of your life with someone, like, or like you talk about a certain percentage of your life with someone, it's inevitable, or
That
it feels like
is
this.
that is the predicament I tend to find myself in, where I'm just like quite occasionally just like I could see that, but also like, is it worth it? Like,
Yeah,
would it really be successful?
yeah.
Where did I put my axe? There it is. Hey bro, can I ask you a question?
No, stop.
I'm gonna start streaming, and it's not even gonna be video gameplay anymore. It's just gonna be like
Dad
me
jokes.
trying out like a stand-up routine that's just like not funny.
Maybe you'd be very good at it, at
I feel like
being not funny.
see, that's the thing, is I can be like very intentionally not funny. I can also be non-intentionally not funny. But I can, even during those times, I can just say like, that's the joke. It's not funny. I feel like, I honestly feel like I could have like a solid career of being like purposely not funny.
Have you watched the Cody Co video recently? The new one?
I haven't been keeping up with Cody Co.
Well, he reviewed a movie called Velocipaster.
Oh, Velocipede. I saw someone else review that. I was honestly considering watching that like a year ago. And it looked so funny.
Yeah, I feel like that goes under the umbrella of like being intentionally like not funny. Uh-oh. Whoa. I just turned
You're good.
everything the wrong color.
Um, so there's this one movie I saw in like probably middle school at some point. Don't remember a whole ton about it. Sheep, you bitch.
Whoa. Chill out there.
It's called Ice Age 2012.
Oh no.
It is a disaster movie about, you guessed it, is Ice Age occurring in the year 2012. And it's not like horribly bad, but it's definitely not like Velocipaster. It tries to be a serious movie, but it's definitely not like Velocipaster levels of bad. But it's definitely a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it's always like one of my favorite bad movies. I find it so funny. One of my favorite lines from it is it's a family trying to escape this ice age. And
Mm-hmm.
they are going by car for part of it. They come across a roadblock. Well, not a roadblock. There's just a bunch of cars in the road that people abandoned. Effectively a roadblock. And they're like, how are we gonna get past this roadblock? And one of the cars that was stopped just so happened to have some like fertilizer in the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
So the dad creates a fertilizer bomb and clears the road for them. And the son goes, wow, Dad, where'd you learn how to do that? And the dad goes, he like completely seriously. This line was completely serious. Wow, Dad, where'd you learn how to do that? Chemistry class. I love that line so much. It's so good to me.
Interesting.
And I haven't watched it back in a while, so it's very possible that my remembrance of how funny that is under deep guise of nostalgia.
Mm.
But I love that movie. in the, what is it now? I cannot see in OBS how long I have been streaming for, but something like 2.5 hours probably. I have converted this swampland pretty much entirely into farmland. I think that's pretty swell.
Does sound pretty swell to me.
And it looks nice. I really like how this looks. Once I have it full of wheat, it will look even better.
Was not the correct shape. Your sister just liked my post.
My sister will ask me to send her stuff on Instagram and then will not respond to it or view it until now, 11 at night, 11:30 at night, and it's like sometimes it'll be things that I'll be talking to her and I'll be like, oh, let me show you this funny post, and she'll be like, oh, send it to me, DM it to me, and I'll be like, oh, okay, expecting her to watch it right away because we're talking about it in person. It's part of the conversation, and then she just won't check it, and then she'll look at it later that night and won't mention it. It's like, oh, cool, thank you for acknowledging. If you would like to tune into my stream, you can see the progress I have made.
I'm currently working on some more important things, so
Oh,
I'm gonna have to pass you up on that offer.
That's a little rude, Flo. I'm very offended by that statement.
I love drawing with I love drawing off of my subconscious. Just drawing whatever comes to mind without having to tie meaning into it.
Yeah, that's why I always have Miss Matosian wanted me to for a few of my projects. She going into it. She was but what does it mean? And I was like, listen, I will not be able to work nearly as productively if I'm more concerned to fit my photos to a narrative than I will be if I just shoot and then apply the narrative afterwards.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I do it for the most part pretty much all the time, but it's very nice to be able to work freely and not have to worry about any grand scheme sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think you would enjoy watching my stream because I have a very nice shader on right now. And I also want viewers. Even if it's just this person I'm talking to.
You're gonna be so impressed with this drawing.
I might. Dude, I saw my graduation photos and my mom had told me to shave and I was like, oh, I'm gonna shave, and then I didn't shave. I was like, it'll be fine, you probably won't even be able to notice, but it's just noticeable enough and I don't like it.
Oh boy. I didn't notice. I also didn't look at your photos, so too thick.
Hey, that's what they say when they see me in the club.
Mm,
Do you not like that one?
I don't like that one.
I'm sorry, the truth hurts. Well,
Must be nice being dummy thick.
one time my sister was like, I forget what exactly she was saying, but like it was like a not a serious fight. It was like we were like joking back and forth fighting, and then I was just like, at least I have ass. And
What did she say?
She just looked sad, and she was like, yeah, you do.
Uh,
And I will not go into that subject any further because I would like to not think about the implications of ass and my sibling.
I wasn't gonna take it there.
I feel like I thought you were going to say like, well, your sister does. It's not.
No. I'm creepy, but I'm not that creepy.
I appreciate that.
So lovely, Nico. This is so lovely.
You're drawing.
Yeah. This is also a very lovely conversation. I've only been talking to like the same 5 people.
I appreciate our conversations because I feel like they are quite unfiltered and
I think they're very substantial.
yeah.
Like they got a lot of they're kind of dummy thick. If I'm being completely honest here.
I don't like that you just said that. I feel like uh it's very nice to be able to like just talk. I feel like I filter a lot of what I say with a lot of people I talk to.
Yeah, I would agree. Like for me as well. Like I'm very. It's like eggshells, man.
Yeah. Even with like friends a lot of the time. I'm like even with like some really good friends, I'm just like that's not a talk. That's not a topic that our friendship needs. And I don't know
Yeah.
that our friendship needs this, but like it can happen and not be weird.
Yeah. Oh my god. Every time I would talk to Max, I would get into the topic of race. I would be like, we need to steer clear. It is time to transfer the conversation to something else. Because even though he's very like, he tries to understand like to a certain degree, I feel that to understand some of my struggles, you have to experience them.
He did mention that it was kind of annoying how very anti-white man you were while also dating a white man.
That's what I mean. Like I'm just too alpha. You gotta have a, I don't know.
I feel like I should get off Minecraft sooner or later.
I feel like Minecraft's a good thing to do like idly though.
It is, but
If you have nothing to do on it though, then it's an issue.
I do have
Oh, I
things to
think.
do, but I feel like I'd rather not get into them right now because otherwise I'll be like doing them until like 2 a.m.
Oh, okay. That's not centered. Uh-oh.
I wish there was a way to fast travel down ladders. Like
Like the same way that you can with scaffolding?
yeah, how you like shoot downwards.
Oh boy. There's some nasty fingerprints on the screen.
On your screen.
Yeah. I should have gotten a tablet sooner. Because I'm really enjoying this. I made a Batman no face for my cousin.
Hmm.
That was really enjoyable for me. Oh no, I'm drawing on the wrong layer.
I feel like I would enjoy a tablet, but I also don't feel like I would use it enough to warrant having a tablet.
Yeah.
My parents both have tablets. My mom has an iPad and my dad has not an Apple product. And they literally both just use them to like read news articles because their phones are small and they don't like reading things on their phone for long periods of time. Like that's all they use it for, and I can't see myself justifying buying a tablet or asking my parents to buy me a tablet if like all I would use it for is reading. Not that I would probably read very much on it anyways. But
Yeah.
same sentiment.
I'm justifying everything by saying that I am doing graphic design.
Well, also it was a gift for you. Like for me,
Yeah.
I'm thinking like if it was to not be a gift and just be like a purchase.
Yeah, I don't think I would purchase. You know what I need to do? I need to get rid of all of these. All my hearts look different, and they can't look different. Uh-oh. Oopie. 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 Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm still familiarizing myself with some of these gestures. And sometimes I do things that are horribly wrong. But thank God for the undo button.
Bruh. Quarantine is so not fun. I'm so glad I'm gonna be working. Like, I mean, I knew I was gonna be working, but like, now that it's happened, I'm so glad because I'll have something to do, and I'll have like more people to talk. Even if it's not like, even if I don't like become friends with my coworkers, it'll just be people to talk to.
Yeah.
Um,
What is happening here? Something horribly wrong is happening. Okay. Let's
is it
try this
bad
again.
that I've been like refreshing our like um our site leader wanted us to upload pictures of ourselves to this thing so that I think so that we could all see each other and also so that I think he might be sending it somewhere. Not sure about that though. But is it bad that I like was looking through that list of people's names and their pictures to see if I'm finding attractive people?
That's the only reason I look at the college Facebook.
Okay, you get it then.
Of course I get it. That's like as much as I hate people. I do like perusing the menu.
That reminds me of some like thing I heard about like Catholic nuns being like I'm allowed to view the menu, I'm just not allowed to order.
Ah, yeah. Okay, it appears that I can't make all of my hearts the same. I don't know why. Oh, that's on a different layer.
Your utmost.
Me?
Yeah.
That's not very nice of you to say.
Alright, I'm sorry. I apologize. I rescind my previous statement.
Good. You know, sometimes I
Just gonna
forget
call me
how.
a beta for saying that.
Wait, what did you? I don't even remember what you said.
I was like, you're just gonna call me a beta for apologizing.
I don't think that apologizing is a beta move.
Oh, bad. That's bad. Don't do that.
The thing is, I'm not like. I'm not anti-beta male because
Oh, I don't like the cave noises at all.
people who are comfortable with their masculinity are very nice people.
I am relatively comfortable with my masculinity.
I'd say so.
I'm comfortable with my masculinity to the extent that like I don't mind like if someone were to like call me gay, I'd be like, you okay? Um, and like I'm not very hyper masculine or anything. However, I
You
like
lovely frogs in the water.
as confidence
Oh,
as I guess I'm just like general
that's so cute.
confidence that I am.
Yeah. Okay, I need to tuck in Nikki.
You have a booger hanging out.
I have a booger hanging out.
No. Yeah.
Oh. Do you want it? My booger. Okay.
That was so cute.
Let me.
That was so cute.
I'll be back. I need to tuck in Nikki. I'm back, boys.
Boys.
Yes.
Oh, Chris? Hello. I think a friend of mine is watching the stream, although I don't know if he's already left. Chris, say something in chat if you're still there. Is there a way to set up something where it like makes a noise when people, for me, when people say shit in chat? Because I will continue to miss that. I think he must be gone because he's not saying anything.
Sad.
Um, yeah, it's not. Wow, I've been streaming for almost 3 hours.
Thing that I'm making kind of has the energy of like when you get a poorly translated t-shirt as a tourist.
um, I think I'm done for now. I'm gonna log off. Part of why I am